And we're back in the room.
We are, Martin. We're back in the room.
All right.
Yeah.
And this is the episode where if
Yes,
you
yes.
find the weird things about ADHD fascinating, like me, this is the episode for you. And with that, welcome to ADHDville.
Oh. So,
yes.
back in the room, straight into the intro.
Yes, we're in the intro. We've cut out all the garbage, straight in with the weird stuff.
Straight in the weird stuff.
Let's go.
Yes, we are. Ha ha ha.
Let's go.
So, hello and welcome to ADHDville, everyone. I'm Paul Thompson. I was diagnosed with the combined ADH and the D not exactly a year ago.
Yeah, and I'm Martin West, and I was diagnosed with the combined poo-poo platter in 2013.
Yes, so we're just here as two mates who, by coincidence or not, in brackets, after 39 years of friendship, discovered that we're co-ADHDers. Who'd have thought? Now, it's really important to say at this moment that this is an entertainment podcast. Yes, not scientific at all, about adult ADHD, and does not substitute for individualized advice from qualified health professionals, Martin. So don't take any advice from us. We're just here as a kind of all-inclusive, right? All-inclusive, okay? Underlined, put in bold. ADHD park bench with room for everyone, including your doppelgangers, your alter egos, your buddy doubles, your chaperones, and even your best buddies. Still here? Congratulations. Excellent staying power. Then grab your jetpacks, pedalos, space hoppers, and any other transportation methods, and let us take you to ADHDville, an imaginary town that we've created in our minds. Our minds, where we like to explore the different parts of the A, the DH, and the D.
And we start off, as always, at the town hall in the mayor's office, where we, the joint mayors of ADHDville, take care of business. And we will be talking about, because in a very recent podcast, we did 20 weird things about ADHD.
Not 11, not 12, 10.
It was 10 each. So
a round number. We rounded it up.
Ended up being 20.
Yes.
And we put the call out there to listeners of the pod to tell us what your weird things that you found about your neurodivergence. And this is the episode where we've collected all of those.
Yeah. And holy moly, a whole load of weird stuff.
A whole load of fun, non-judgmental, awesomely weird stuff.
Yeah, and let's face it, I think the ADHD community, they just generally love weird stuff. So it's a win-win situation.
Yes. So where are we heading?
Martin, we're going back to the basement.
Oh yeah, because that's where all the weird stuff happens. All right, well let's head over to the elevator or the lift. Push the button. There we go. All right. In we go.
I like to think that the elevator's a bit weird too. There's like stuff in there that shouldn't be there.
Well, there's this weird music.
Yes. It's a B-day in the elevator. Who plumbed that in?
And why? And how did you get? How did you get planning permission for that?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? That just reminds me, right? You could have a toilet that went up and down in between floors. So if you were like really short and if you were really short on time and you were on the 3rd floor and you had a meeting on the 10th floor, you could just go into the toilet elevator and just went to the toilet on your way up.
Right. If you're good at timing it, some people are not so good. My old man always went to the toilet with a newspaper.
Oh, right. And he was in there for ages.
Oh,
obviously.
Yeah. At least until the sports pages.
All right. Well, let's crack on then.
Let's crack on
with our 20 weird things about ADHD / neurodivergent listener episode.
Yes.
All right.
And we should start from the top and work down. That makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We've got one from Soothing Ava from our TikTok page.
Eva. Yeah.
Ava.
Eva.
Ava. In Italy, she'd be called Ava. Ava
All right.
Maria. Ava Maria. Soothing. Ava Maria on TikTok. She says, question, are these ADHD things sensory difficulties that seem to be related to autism and aren't in the diagnostic criteria for ADHD? Do you want
Correct.
to answer that, Martin?
Well, I have to say that is correct.
It is
isn't
correct.
in the. It isn't in the. So all of these. So a bunch of these weird things are kind of like can be comorbidities or one step away from the official ADHD diagnostic criteria. So if you have any of these things, it doesn't mean you have ADHD. It's just
No.
part of that wonderful neurodivergent soup.
It's just comorbid.
Yeah.
Which is quite on theme because considering was it tomorrow or day after tomorrow is Halloween. Well, it'll be when this goes out. It'll be behind us, but more or less, you get the picture. So it's just comorbid.
Yeah.
And I found a bit of science, Martin, about this. There's actually been no studies. There's only been a general study in like 4 years ago from the Boston University that they just did a study that grouped everyone, ADHDers, or autismers, and even Tourette sufferers, grouped them all in, and they generally found that yes, absolutely, people in that spectrum are much more likely to have sensitivities related to food, whether it's about the type of food or the texture of the food or the smell of the food. Absolutely, right? And generally, those people ate fewer vegetables compared to neuro-beige peeps, Martin.
Oh, wow. All right.
Yeah. So there's a reason.
Okay.
There's a reason.
All right. So if you go on, and there's a third point.
There is a third point, Martin, and that they what they recommend is individualized therapy is recommended. So everyone is different.
Right. All right. So if you know
that.
of any research that is out there, we would love to know. All right.
Yeah.
So the first little batch comes from my friend Shelley on TikTok. And I'll do, and I think we'll just run down these. Like I'll do one and then I'll do one, and then you do point two, right?
That sounds good.
Right. So, the first one she mentions is food that I lost, then hoarded, then gave up. So I think actually on the last one I talked about like there was food that I liked, and then I couldn't get it, so I hoarded it, and then I didn't like it anymore.
Right.
And she's basically agreeing. She's saying that cheese puffs, specifically cheese puffs, now I can't touch them. So greasy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that I can't relate to. Cheese puffs have been a constant bedmate of mine. Bedfellows. We're bedfellows. Me and cheese puffs, definitely. But I've never had I've always liked savoury snacks. Always. We've never fallen out.
Later in life, I've grown to like them. I was very much about sugar. That was.
I did when I was a kid at school. Yeah, sugar, Stephen Fry said something interesting about sugar. Often it's a replacement for if you're a kid growing up and you've got a craving for sugar, as he did. He had a craving for sugar. He said it was a replacement for his lack of love in his life. It was a love replacement, Martin. Sugar.
Well, that tracks with me. So yeah, I didn't much. So me and my mum didn't have much of a relationship. So therefore, I turned to Freddo the Frog chocolate bar for some parental love.
Me too. I used to spend my dinner money. I used to go straight to the sweet shop.
Yeah. Absolutely.
and get like a bag full of sherbet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Lovely. Nice.
for
Anyway,
parental care.
that's just point one.
Right.
Let's
That's only
just
point one. This is going to be
yeah.
3 hours, this one.
I know,
Okay.
so crack on.
To crack on, skin, Martin. Skins with an exclamation mark is number 2 on the list. I have a thing. This is Shelley again. I have a thing in particular I need to have looked at because every time I find it, I either pick at it or yell at myself not to pick at it. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think this is really common.
Cones of shame for all.
Tons of shame for all.
Cones of shame.
And yet that satisfaction when you pick at something and this, I don't know what we're looking for. What are we looking for? I don't know.
It's a sensory thing.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, like, so I've just had surgery. So I've got 5 brand new scars on my tummy, right?
Lovely.
I was told to not pick at. So
Right.
I've been very good at not picking at the wounds. But it's been tough. It's been tough. I've been tempted, but I don't want anything bad to happen. So I'm like, let me just.
No, that's not good. When push comes to shove, and I had a situation like yours, I would be the same. I would be quite disciplined. Yeah.
All right, number three in Shelley's list.
This is a good one. This is a stonker. I like this one.
Shops. It's 50-50 if I'll even make a list anymore. I'll go and grab what looks good. This works unreliably as most things don't look good most of the time, and I'll wind up leaving without food.
Right.
And then I worry I'm being watched for shoplifting.
Right. There's a lot to unpack here.
I love this.
There's a lot to unpack. A big packing is a bang on theme as well. Yeah, I find food shopping intensely boring. In a supermarket, only in a supermarket, I find it. I just want to get out of those places as soon as possible. And also, I always, whatever shop I'm in, I'm always convinced that I'm always sensitive to, like, don't make strange movements with my hands anywhere near pockets or any other parts of my clothing that might give someone the idea that I'm shoplifting.
I know. The other day, I didn't have a basket. I think this was yesterday or the day before, and I had one item. It was small, and then I was wandering around, and then I needed to use both hands for some reason. So I put the item in my pocket, so I could use my hands. I was like,
tension,
panic.
Right.
I had to, like, abort, reverse, get the thing out of my pocket, show it around a bit, like, oh yeah, okay, yeah. All right, I'm just gonna hold it up a bit, just to
point at it.
Yeah, like, okay, yeah. No, it's still here. Jesus Christ!
Put up a sign saying "Hello, Mum" or Dad. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely.
I can totally relate to that. Okay. And then she said that yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I just want to add that last week I said we can, or at least me, sorry, I can only really hold 2 instructions in my head at the same time. So it could be like, get the butter out the fridge and toast some bread. But if you add a third, like, can you wash out some mugs? then that throws the whole thing into disarray. And she was saying that her partner just raised a finger when I discussed holding multiple instructions, so he can vouch for that. So he's another one of those people that has
just as much as that. I once was sent to the supermarket for 3 things by my girlfriend.
Right.
But even if in reality I was sent to the supermarket for 1 thing, okay, it was probably like Prosecco or something like that. So, Paul, go to the supermarket, do us a favour, go to the supermarket, get this thing. So when you're there, you might as well get some crisps and, I don't know, cherry yogurt or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
I came back with the cherry yogurt and the crisps. Forgot the main thing.
Yeah.
The whole point of going.
So often. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, number 4, Paul, from Shelley's list.
I think this is still Shelley. She wrote lots of amazing stuff. I think my top weird ADHD thing is that I can't stop riffing off of whatever stimulus is in front of me. Exhibit A, this thread. Okay, so this TikTok thread. I'm so fond of you both. Oh, thanks. My fingers are tapped out. Have a great day with 3 Y's and an exclamation mark. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then Shelley says, I lied. I love how your top answers are so specific yet relatable, and how they're both to do with competing stimuli, breathing and swallowing, watching and listening. Pick one.
Right. So
Right.
I think that the top weird thing here is, well, thank you for those kind words. That's amazing.
Yes.
I can't stop riffing off of whatever stimulus is in front of me. So that's like, you know, like when you're watching TV and you're just commenting over the top, almost the whole time. Or if you're with someone and there's stuff going on, you're just like, I think that's almost like being a bit hyper verbal in a way, if it's out loud, you know, where you're just
riffing. Okay.
Riffing.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay.
All right. There we go. All right. So thank you, Shelley, for those.
Thanks, Shelley.
Let's move on to number 5 now. We've got a bunch here from Alexandra down in Greece, who said, loved it, the weird episode, as she was giggling the whole time. Nice. That's our job done.
That's our job done. All right, end of episode. Let's go to the pub. Yeah.
Right.
Job done.
So
let's read these out.
Number 5, emotional beverages. Now I have a strong bond with my vape. So so as anyone who watches this will know that I have my emotional support drink here, the beverage. And when I was working in corporate offices, I would always have a drink, and I would take it to every meeting. So I wouldn't travel outside of my little office space without my emotional support drink.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
And then we've got 6 heavy, cozy, fluffy, oversized clothes. Oh my God, OMG. I'm so into it. Think that's why I love winter and blankets. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think this is quite a common thing. Weighty stuff. Like if I really look forward to the winter when you can like load up the duvet with blankets.
Yeah.
Well, on top of that, and I sleep like a log with the weight.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I mean, I've got a nice heavy hoodie on at the moment, and I love it.
But Alexandra, she lives in Greece, right?
Yes.
You know, Greece, it's got a long summer, so that's quite a tricky one for her.
Yeah, I have no idea. Tell us what Greece is like in the winter, and how long is it? And does it get really cold? Does it snow?
I think it's quite similar to Italy, where I live, climate.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I think it's quite similar climates, and it's a long summer. It's only like they've like saying, oh, maybe next week we'll get down to 0 for the first time this year.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Has been a very warm autumn so far. Number 7.
Okay.
Any body part being wet without the rest of my body being wet.
Mm-hmm.
My motivation for showering is a new body wash or shampoo. That's why I end up with 5 different 5 different body washes in the bathroom.
Okay.
Yeah, so one part of your body being wet and the rest of it dry.
Right.
I can see that. I can see that. I don't like that.
I'm picturing it now, my kind of like routine. I get out the shower and, okay, where's my go-to first? I'm like, pretty
You see,
much top half drying.
I don't want a picture. I mean, like you used to say,
No,
picture
yeah,
yourself.
fair enough.
Why are you
Fair
putting
enough.
that picture in my head?
Yeah, I know.
Why put that in my head?
I think the most irritating thing is probably if I've got like wet behind the knees, Martin.
Moist
Behind the knees. Don't like that.
knee pits.
Yeah, knee pits. Knee pits.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's horrendous.
Yeah.
All right, number 8.
Okay.
Oh, that's you.
That's me. Number 8 is counting time, not the sips, because I mentioned that when I drink certain drinks, especially milk or more often fruit juice, I will count the gulps down as they go. Right? I don't do it with water. With water, I don't do it. Just with certain things. Alexandra was saying she counts time and not the sips when she's drinking water. So okay,
Time.
that's a weird one. That's definitely right up there in the weird list.
Counting time, not still. I'm thinking that she. I mean, I take that to mean that she's counting like 1, 2, 3. She's counting seconds down.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
That's cool. And number 9.
9.
Last one, her eating sounds can drive me mad. Also, when the beverage is cold and the glass gets sweaty without a coaster on the table, can drive me crazy.
Right, I can understand that.
Yeah, there's this thing. I just have to like pull it up on my phone. There's a thing called misophonia, which is a hatred of small routine sounds like chewing, slurping, yawning, breathing,
or loud eaters.
Eating sounds.
Loud eaters, nothing worse. Or someone who eats with their mouth open.
Yeah.
Or chewing gum with them loud, chewy, gummy kind of things.
Have I mentioned on the pod before when I worked in Beijing for about a year, they slurp their noodles.
Yeah.
And the sound drove me nuts.
It's a sign. It's actually a sign for them. I think it's the same in Japan as well. It actually demonstrates good manners. Because it demonstrates the cook that you're enjoying it. So it's a good thing for them.
Yeah, drives me insane.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, people. Yeah, there must be people who have the same issue in Asia. But yeah.
Oh
good
God,
Lord.
yeah. Okay. So then,
hang on a second.
Yes.
Because the other interesting thing is about this one is when the beverage is cold and the glass gets swety without a coaster and the table, so that the little drips start running down the glass and then start getting onto the table.
Right. Yeah.
And then, so I can imagine it like I'd just be sitting there like watching the wetness get onto the table, thinking that's going to leave a mark.
I'd be trying to. I'd be looking around to see where there's like a napkin is. I would have to pick it up. I couldn't just leave it there.
Yeah.
Couldn't.
Yeah. I've got two. Yeah. I've got the odd table that does have a ring mark on it, which annoys me.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
So thanks for Alexandra. Okay, so we've got number 10 from Gen X, ADHD Dad. Hello, yes. Gen X ADHD Dad. Loud nose breathing. Even worse if it whistles. Now, Donald Trump. He's he's just got a really highly sensitive microphone, but all I can hear when Trump talks is like his nose breathing.
Yeah,
it's really loud.
It is. Oh, I'm gonna plug in my Mac. I didn't realize that I hadn't plugged it in. Yeah, so there we go. That nose breathing, I guess, is the misophonia.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, whistling nose thing. Oh god, that's just driving me insane just thinking about it.
Right. Oh yes. Yes. Well, that's another thing, is it? But I actually quite like that. It's like, what's the actor? I really like him actually. Who did True Detectives? Matthew McConaughey.
Oh yeah.
He whistles. He's got a really nice Texan. He whistles very slightly, subtly. Whistles when he talks. And I think it's really that version is really nice.
All right.
It's really cool. Yeah, well
All
done,
right.
Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
He speaks well of us too.
Oh, I'm sure
apparently.
he does.
Yeah.
I get a Christmas card from him every year, so I know I'm in his thoughts.
Yes.
No. All right. Next one from Cade. Chronic and complex. This is her on TikTok. Number 11 on our list. Overhead lights make me angry and tense, and tenses my skin / muscles. Yeah, overhead. You know those fluorescent lights.
Yeah,
those long ones.
I think because they're noisy. I think even most people can hear them. Even if you're neurobeige, you can hear. You can hear. Zzz, there's a buzz.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, and a flicker as well. They flicker. They're not like normal lights.
Flicker. That's worse. That's like the ultimate. If you have to work in a room and there's like a little bulb that is just doing a flickery thing.
Oh,
I want to punch the ceiling.
Yeah. And actually, we've got a guest on next week, Alice in Italian, Alice. She was saying, I asked her, I reached out to her this morning, told her that we're doing this podcast on this theme, and she said that she can hear electrical devices from the other room. Doesn't have to be the same room. She can hear electrical devices. Amazing!
All right.
Wow!
All right.
Okay.
I can tell. So that leads us on to your. You're doing number 12.
Number 12, and Cade can hear fluorescent lights and HVAC systems. What's that? HVAC, air conditioning.
Yeah, HVAC.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I can't bear. I never use, if I can help it. Never use. Even if I'd rather sweat and be uncomfortable than use aircon.
All right.
Gives me headaches. We have headaches.
Central air, which is great. Anyway, so number 13.
Yes.
This is an interesting one. One earbud in makes me talk quieter and hear better.
That's weird.
I love this.
This is a good one. This is good.
Yeah.
On the weird measure, right? On the weird kind of dial.
Mm-hmm.
Right. This is really cool. This is like weird, like all in capital letters. One earbud. I'm having to read this again. I'm not reading it out for our listeners. I'm reading it out for myself to make sense of it. One earbud in one of her ears makes her talk quieter and hear better. Okay. Wow.
I shall have to try it now. Obviously.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm wondering whether there's any music going into that one earbud, or whether it's just like I wonder if it's a bit like those loop earrings. I've tried them. Things which loop. You've tried. Yeah. I wonder if it works a bit in that way, where it kind of deadens the overall.
Maybe it makes the other ear more efficient because it's not trying too hard in the other ear.
Maybe.
Well, because I've got in my left ear, I burst an eardrum once because I took a flight to Hamburg for New Year's Eve. Of course I did, and I had flu. I thought I'd be all right. And as it was coming to land in Hamburg, my eardrum burst.
Yeah.
And that was one of the most painful things I've ever had in my life. I had like blood coming out of my ear from the
Oh.
bursting action, right? And since then, the hearing on my left hand side is not so good. So
Mm,
I'm gonna have to try this out. So
yeah.
maybe,
Yeah.
if it's sort of like, okay, if I had to have a conversation with my left ear, I'd say, don't worry, take a break, put your feet up,
Yeah.
I'll
Read
just
a book.
read a book
Have a beer.
or listen to our podcast. Or no,
Well,
don't listen to podcasts. Just don't do any hearing at all. Actually, I'm going to help you out. I'm going to block you by putting an earbud in
yeah.
and let your buddy on the other side, the other ear, let him do all the work.
Right.
Mate, I'll
But
try
yeah,
it. Let's try it out.
your other ear is like, now you have got to pull your finger out. It's all
Yeah,
on your shoulders.
literally, or the bud
Right.
out. Pull the bud
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. Don't flake on me now. All right. So next one's you, right?
Yes, it's from Amber.Atlantic.
No, it's
It's
not. Wait.
no.
Back to Head Nooks.
Whoa! Head Nooks from Head Nooks. Hello, Head Nooks. So this is number 14. As much as I find microfiber the best for cleaning my glasses, I hate the touch of them! Exclamation mark. Almost makes me shudder each time I pick one up. I can relate to
Microfiber.
that in terms of microfiber being used as a what you call them when you get out of the shower or the bath and you have a robe,
All right.
right, made of microfibers. No, don't do
Okay.
that.
That's
It's like,
all right.
ugh. It's like just not pleasurable at all. It just like feels
Yeah.
it's a wrong and
I've just realised that I was going to clean my glasses before coming on the pod, and then I didn't. So
yeah. I don't mind them for cleaning my glasses.
all right. Yeah, I don't think
Anywhere
I
else
mind them so much.
no, on my body, I get that.
But what scares me about this, Mr. Headnook, sir,
Right, scares.
what scares me about this is that next time I go and pick up that microfiber cloth to clean my glasses,
Right.
I'm going to be thinking of that, and then is
Right.
my brain gonna go and
Well,
have a
maybe
little mini freak out?
Maybe we've already read out 14 of these things. Maybe we've already triggered like 20,000 of our listeners.
I think we've triggered everyone at least once.
Yeah.
At least once.
It's like you said, Martin, whenever because we had this thing, we talked about your toothbrushing regime.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And I said that every time I clean my teeth, I think about you cleaning your teeth. And then you said, every time that you clean your teeth, you think about me cleaning. Yeah.
And it is still right to this day.
Right.
It's still,
okay.
That is still the thing.
I love that.
To this day.
I love that. Okay.
I did actually look up online. I was going, is my dentist right? It's just a grain of sand of toothpaste, not grain of sand, a grain of rice amount of toothpaste, and the internet says the size of a pea.
Okay.
So it's still a lot smaller than I used to put on.
Can I suggest that? Do you floss? By the way, do you floss?
I've bought myself an automatic flosser
machine. Did you use it?
Which I have used intermittently.
Right. So this is my provocation, Martin. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
Hang on to your britches.
Oh no!
Next time you use it, next time you think of it, you're gonna think of me.
Oh, fuck off!
Yes.
Just go away. Get out of my head.
Get out of your teeth.
Get out of my head. Go away. It's bad enough that I brush my teeth and think about you every day.
All right. Okay.
Are you just going to infiltrate my life one little thing at a time?
Okay.
Anyway,
we should probably move on now. Otherwise, we'll be triggering left, right, and centre.
this is from amber.atlantic. This is again from TikTok. So this is number 15. Having no sense of time, of date and time. If I didn't have a phone on me at all times, I'd have no idea what the day or the time is or what the time is. And having to set a million alarms. Yeah, right. I mean, I think I mentioned that when it comes to food, I can just easily just forget to eat. I just forget what time of day it is, and my concept of time goes out the window.
I've found I used to have a really freakily accurate perception of time. Like really, really accurate, and still do actually. But I was thinking today, since I got diagnosed with ADHD and I'm more and more unmasking, my ADHD traits are coming out more.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Did you have that? You had that.
Yeah. When you start to accept your ADHD or whatever neurodivergent thing that
it's a can of worms.
You have. Yeah, you start unpacking everything slowly.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh Jesus Christ, yeah. Oh, that's a thing. Oh, okay.
I've become more forgetful, definitely.
Yeah.
Because I guess I'm just letting it go.
Well, I think it's because it's this kind of skills regression thing, right? Where you, if you're putting in a lot of effort into masking. There is part of that effort is in you remembering things, right?
Yeah.
Because you kind of go, oh, I'm bad at things, so I'll put a lot of effort. So all of that masking as a person who remembers things. And then if you stop masking, you actually weirdly stop putting effort into some of these coping skills and strategies, and they come up to the surface.
Yeah. It's like you're redistributing your brain, your brain energy usage.
Yeah.
You're like using it somewhere else because you don't have to use it over there anymore. Just like use it on the other side of the brain somewhere.
Right. And then you seem to be worse. All your neurodivergent traits just seem to get a lot worse.
Okay.
All right.
Next up from number what? Oh yes, 17. The strange thoughts.
16.
Oh yeah, she can hear Amber.Atlantic. She can hear power lines.
Right. Those big overhead power.
That's totally logical.
Yeah,
I think I can hear them as well. I think I can. But I think some people more than others.
That is an interesting one. Can you hear? I'm just googling it in power lines. And I'm sure it's going to say yes. You can hear power lines. It is often a low-pitched hum or a crackling or a hissing.
Right. Thank God. If it was a farting noise, it could be.
Yeah. Or a laughing sound. So as you walk past it, it's going.
Right. Yeah.
What? Who's laughing at me? Fuck off, power line.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. See, sometimes they just don't have a sense of humour.
No. All right. Number 17 from Kaylee ND Mama says the strange thoughts like and buckle up for
this one.
For the next one. Strange thoughts like, I wonder what poo tastes like. Is that ADHD or am I just odd? Lol. You know what?
When you're talking about poo, the taste of poo, do you really, Kaylee, we don't know each other. I'm sure you're lovely, but do you have to put lol on the end of wondering what poo tastes like? You can put ugh.
I'm laughing.
So am I, actually.
I'm laughing. I'm laughing out loud.
I mean, Paul's always poo, and it's always good for a laugh. Okay, so wonder what poo tastes like. Unpack that?
Yes, I can slightly, in that I think of it as an intrusive thought, right? Which isn't necessarily. I mean, if you have ADHD, that isn't part of it, but it's not exclusive to ADHD, but having these intrusive thoughts that come in, they aren't a reflection of you or who you are or of any secret desire that you might have. They are just literally these like dumbass thoughts that kind of come into my brain.
Yeah.
And I want to point out that I will side with Kaylee on this slightly,
Right.
because when I walk my dog, right, and he does his poo, right, and I have to pick it up in a bag and all of that, and I don't think about it in that way. But what I do think about is, I think that people do sort of gag, right? They have a sort of a gagging, and I wonder whether this is a thought I've always had, which is, I wonder if they are thinking, what does it taste like, right? And that's why they're having a physical gag reflex, is because they're thinking that
Of
thought.
course. Yes, I gag. Yeah.
And I don't gag because I actually am not thinking about the poo at all. I'm actually thinking about something completely different. It's almost like an automatic pick down, put in the bag, carry on. I'm not even thinking about it in the slightest.
Let's get down to specifics. When I have to pick up my dog's poo, I will much more like to gag if it's a bit in Italian say molle. If it's a soft one, I will gag.
All right. Yeah.
If it's like in the middle of the summer, he's a bit dehydrated, poor boy, or I'm feeding feeding him just on the dry stuff, on the biscuits.
Yeah.
Then it's easy to pick up, right?
All right.
And I'm a lot less likely to gag, right?
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. There we go.
You can use it. You can just think about it. You can approach it from a complete different angle. Like an ex-girlfriend, we used to talk about this, and she used to call this stuff. She used to call them hand warmers. She didn't think about the smell. She just thought how useful it was that in the summer you could pick up your dog's poo and warm up your hands.
In the winter, yeah.
In the winter, hand warmers.
Good Lord! All right, let's crack on.
Lord, cracking on.
All right, number 18.
Yes, from Matt. Hello, Matt. I hate roll necks or zipped up tops. I have one hoodie I can zip up, but it's loose. And it feels like anything tied around my neck makes me struggle to breathe. That's not good.
No. Roll necks. I think of like no.
I can relate to it. I don't like it.
Beatniks. That's what I'm thinking of.
Beatniks.
Yeah, I remember like beatniks back in the day were into jazz and heavy back glasses and wore black roll necks
or
sweaters.
Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
Used to wear them. I can relate to that. I'm okay with the roll neck. I'm not okay if it's a zip up hoodie that zips up onto your chin. I find that a bit like that. Yeah, I don't like that. A roll neck's fine, but if it zips up to there, sometimes I have the sensation of feeling a bit kind of like uncomfortable. Yeah,
I got breath.
Weird. Okay.
All right, and his second one. So number 19 is I also like to be alone for my morning routine. If someone is awake and talking to me, it screws my head up, and I want to scream. Don't talk to me before my first coffee, etc., etc.
Okay.
Yeah.
This relates to last week's podcast episode. Shame.
It does.
I feel shame when I want to be alone. And and it's like, if it's a friend or my girlfriend or whoever it is, and I just want to be alone with my cappuccino and my croissant, alone with my croissant, and they've done nothing wrong, but I often feel shamed, like, oh, why do I have to feel like this? But it's just just how it is. I do like to be alone sometimes.
Yeah, yeah.
Are you the same?
All right.
Do you like to be on your own at times?
Yes. Although I do find that it's me on my own. Is definitely not a very different person, but I behave differently. So it's one thing, right? I always find is now my wife doesn't. I mean, we spend most of our time together. We're not very often apart. But if she goes out in the evening, and I'm sitting there and I'll say I want to watch TV, I find it very difficult to decide what to watch.
Okay.
Like on my own, like my own decision making about what I want to watch on TV is like thrown asunder, and I'm on there like flicking through like, oh, shall I watch this or that or this, and I'll spend like an hour just flicking through the things that I could watch.
Yeah, I'm like that with food. If I have to make my own dinner, I get confused. I'm fine with the TV because I just go to my go-to documentaries on YouTube,
right?
Something like that. No, that's not a problem for me. But eating, yeah, definitely. What I'll do is I'll get a takeaway because that way I don't have to think about it too much.
Yeah,
but yeah.
I am. As you notice, if you've been watching on YouTube, I'm slowly moving my chair around as the sun is burning my retinas off.
You could tell the time by how Marty's positioned during the podcast.
Yeah, I have done a full 45-degree like move around the table.
Right.
Anywho,
which coincides with 46, almost 47 minutes. So it's like moved a degree every minute.
Every minute, I've just slowly been walking my way around. Okay, so last one, which is yours, I believe, number 20.
No, it's not mine. Oh yes, it's mine. It's mine to read out. Sleeves, Martin. It's all in capitals with 2 exclamation marks already setting me off. I'm triggered. Once you go beyond 1 exclamation mark, I'm already like I'm clenching my buttocks.
Right? Oh no, you've taken Paul and his multiple exclamation mark.
That's right. It feels like my buttocks are going to implode. Right. Sleeves, or even worse, wet cuffs from washing the hands.
Yeah.
I get that.
How annoying is that?
That's not good.
How annoying is that? You wash your hands and then you get a moist cuff.
Oh, that's not good.
Just being cold on your wrist.
I know this is not related, but it just sort of came up in my mind. There's probably body extremities. I think it's bodily extremities is the theme that I somehow went as a tunnel I went down. Sand between my toes when you're on the beach. I can't wait to get home, have a shower and get that sand out from between my toes.
Right.
I hate that.
Right. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, that wraps up our 20. So thank you for everyone who contributed. And I kind of feel like if you listen to this and you've got some more, add them into the comment because we're really enjoying this. So if you keep feeding us with weird things about your neurodivergence,
and maybe at Christmas time,
keep doing this.
At Christmas time, we do the best of maybe. Best of the weird stuff.
Maybe.
Because, that's time of the year when everyone's doing the best of.
Although I feel like if we do a weird thing about it should be weird things about Christmas, surely.
Okay. Yeah, of course it is.
Like
loads of fodder.
Some people don't like their Christmas meals. You know like how you might not like your food to touch each other. You like your food compartmentalized, and Christmas dinner can be quite mushy, and they might put gravy on everything.
No, worse than that. The overloaded plate, Martin, drives me insane.
Yeah,
even if it's not mine. If someone gives me an overloaded plate with food, I can't touch it.
Right. Well, let's save that for our Christmas weird weird things about neurodivergent Christmas episode.
We saved that podcast gold for
Right.
Christmas.
So get your comments in about any neurodivergent weirdness, and we will put it into the next episode.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's jump in the. Well, actually, no. We have to go back up the elevator.
Yes.
And then let's talk about. Let's not bother going to the
post office.
But we will read out some of our.
You've got some feedback, Martin. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hang on. Let's just get back into the elevator again. Yeah, slightly. It's an awkward hanging around bit. You know, it's like elevators.
You whistle. I always want to whistle in an elevator.
You just want to break that awkward silence.
Yeah.
I think we're almost there.
It's all right.
God, this.
Step over the B-day.
Hang on. And
step over the B-day. Don't trip over it.
All right.
We need to find out who plumbed that in. Yeah, we've got some feedback, Martin. We've got one from Dad VB. Just wrote something really nice. Hello, Dad VB. That's what I love about this podcast. He says you never know what information you're going to pick up next. Like the one we talked about, tumbleweed. Are actually, tumbleweed we think is like a famous cowboy western kind of icon. Visual icon, and actually they're native to Russia, which I found ironic.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love that kind of nonsense.
And we have one from at Shell Plus Sourdough, which is agree on Paul's take on. Oh no, there's a
Gabor Mate's.
Okay, there. Thank you. Take on ADHD. The trauma is part and parcel.
Yeah.
So there you are. Someone agreed with you, Paul, about something.
There's always a first. 57 years been waiting for someone to agree with me. 57 years.
57 years.
57.
Awesome. Well, that just leaves me to say.
Yes. Outro.
Yeah, is to say ADHDville is delivered fresh every Tuesday to all purveyors of fine podcasts. Please subscribe to the pod and rate us most weird. And feel free to correspond at will in the comments.
Yes.
But wait, there's more. If you wish to see our beautiful faces, then sally forth to the YouTube
or Sally Fields
and the TikToks. And you can also pick up a quill and email us at ADHDville@gmail.com. But in the meantime, be fucking kind to yourself.
And I beseech you, fellow ADHDers, know thyself, sons of the hounds, come hither and get the flesh. Yes, do that.
There, says the mayor. That's that.